But I wanted to start off and put things in perspective. Last year, we passed a bipartisan budget that is balanced. It is actually in surplus. We have a historic high in a rainy day fund, the result of fiscal structures that the Republicans demanded in the bipartisan budget of 2017. And we've made billion-dollar deposits into debt, trying to wipe that out too. So we have a budget that works. And our Constitution requires we have a balanced budget, which we have. And really, there's no need to fix that because the budget, like I say, is working. There's one area where it doesn't quite work too well, and that is in the fact that there is an over-collection of income tax, not so much income, sales and use tax, gross receipts tax, that has over-collected about $1 billion out of the taxpayers' wallets. That was not anticipated. We didn't see that, didn't need that for the budget, but yet it's being received here in Hartford, and it exceeds the revenue projections that we originally made. And that's due in large part because we have a 40-year high in inflation, a 40-year high that is now putting a crunch on every single household across the state of Connecticut to the tune of thousands of dollars, that now middle and low-income families are having trouble meeting their budget. Kitchen table economics, they're living hand to mouth, they're having a tough time, yet their government that they pay for is awash in money. That just is not fair. It's not right. So what we're going to propose is immediate, responsible relief for these families across Connecticut that sent us here to do this, quite frankly. We are the second highest taxed state citizenry in the country. That's right, we're number 2. And for Republicans, that's uncomfortable. We don't feel good at that. That's way too close to being number 1. And budgets are about priorities. Where are we going to put those priorities? Does our state want to get to number 1? I believe the Democrats want to get there because they're not talking the same language we're talking. But to us, being number 2 is uncomfortable. We want to fall much lower than that. And with that, what we're looking at is Connecticut's choice. Do we take that over-collection of tax and keep it here in Hartford and use it to grow and increase the size and scope of our government? Or do we give it back to the people who work hard every day, getting up, just trying to live their lives and want nothing more than their government to get out of their way? We believe that's the choice. That's the right choice, particularly when we know our budget is balanced in surplus and we have historic levels in our savings accounts. People of Connecticut don't have historic levels of savings in their accounts because our government takes too much from their paycheck every week. So what we've proposed is to return that money, that $1 billion over collection, back to the people of Connecticut. And we're going to do it in various ways. First, we're going to see a savings in the sales tax. We want to do what we were doing before in reducing the 6.35 down to 5.99, eliminate that 1% surcharge on restaurants, and extend it through the end of the calendar year. We want to do the same thing with the 25-cent gas tax and extend that to the end of the year and extend it also to diesel. Also, there's the highway use tax, a tax that was imposed by the majority last year after that balanced budget was adopted for no other reason other than because they could. It was a $100 million tax that's going to be put on the transport of goods in the state of Connecticut, which is going to increase the cost of goods, which is why Connecticut's unaffordable. There's no purpose for a $100 million tax to go into effect in January when you have a balanced budget. So we want to do away with that and also accelerate and eliminate the income tax on pension and Social Security benefits. Right now it's at 56, and we would accelerate that to 100% to bring relief to people on fixed incomes. We think that's a way to bring immediate, responsible relief today. Inflation is here now, so must relief. We need and we can provide our families that help. There's more to the plan. I'm going to turn it over to Representative Candelora to go through some more of the ideas we have.
Thank you, Senator Kelly. As we've heard today, Connecticut, its economy is at a headwind. We have businesses, our job creators are concerned about what the future looks like, and certainly affordability in the state of Connecticut is a #1 issue for our residents. As they continue to be worried about filling their gas tanks and putting food on the table and meeting the challenges of inflation, our state government has taken advantage of these inflationary costs, and we have a windfall of over $1 billion this year coming into the state of Connecticut's coffers. Government is working for itself, not the people of Connecticut. And we're going to see that today when we are discussing a state employment contract that is going to cost taxpayers over $2 billion. Yet Democrats have continued to have a self-imposed cap on tax relief at $180 million. And we are suggesting that that self-imposed cap doesn't need to happen. And so in addition to the proposals that Senator Kelly pointed out, we also want to restructure our income tax in the state of Connecticut. And let's reduce the tax brackets for individuals earning $75,000 or less and households earning $175,000 or less. We would like to reduce the tax bracket from 5% to 4%. It would cost approximately $368 million annually, and it will provide relief to many of our middle-class families to the tune of over $750 a year. This is an opportunity for Connecticut to make systemic change that will help the residents of Connecticut. And so we are suggesting that change needs to happen now. We're also suggesting to put $225 million, roughly, of ARPA funds into the Unemployment Compensation Fund. You know, we continue to bang this drum for one reason alone, and that is job creation in the state of Connecticut. Massachusetts this year has now surpassed Connecticut on per capita income. That is not an achievement that we're happy about. And the Unemployment Compensation Fund is only going to drag down that wealth. And what it will do right now, if nothing is done, it's going to cost Connecticut businesses per employee over $600 a year in cost. This relief needs to come now in order to make sure that our economy continues to be jump-started. And so with that, I think we've covered our tax proposals, and I'd like to turn it back over to Senator Kelly to discuss how we are able to do all of this without a self-imposed $180 million cap.
Go through the amicus. Okay, well, first and foremost, right now, presently, there are 18 states that have brought suit against the Biden administration claiming that that cap is unconstitutional, and they've prevailed in court. There was an appeal taken to the 11th Circuit, and when that initially occurred, both myself and Representative Candelora asked the governor and our Attorney General to not sit on Connecticut's taxpayers' rights and to join those lawsuits because they have standing and because I believe the taxpayers of Connecticut need somebody to fight for them. Keep in mind that of these 18 states, there are 2 Democrat governors that have the courage to challenge the Biden administration with regards to this. And nowhere in the ARPA law does it say that if a state government over-collects on its taxes, that we are mandated to continue to do so. We don't have to continue to overtax our citizens because we took federal money. With that in mind, there are other states, Texas is one of them, who have sued in federal court and have won, basically claiming that this is unconstitutional. And should the Biden administration Justice Department take an appeal, we are now looking at joining that lawsuit with an amicus brief, because we believe that the families across Connecticut want us to fight for them and to make sure that if they've been overtaxed, that our government can give the money back. And if the governor and the attorney general won't act, we, the Republicans under this dome, will, because the people of Connecticut sent us here to fight for them, not for government itself. And we believe, once again, like these other states, that this is unconstitutional, so there is no cap. So we can return this money, just like 18 other states are doing now, and we believe we will prevail in federal court.